host, Famous Amos, and you are tuning in to the Block is Hot podcast. And here with me today, I have my co-host.
Yo, it's Tim Redhose. You guys already know. Tim the Hoon, a.k.a. Plato Got Stacks, a.k.a. George Hooney and Hoonius Ferg the Third, a.k.a. Clean Comedy Brother number 2, and young sweet rider of the pussy flavor. I don't think I like that one, actually. We could edit that one out.
No edits, no cuts. I completely forgot my AKA, so let me go ahead and drop those for you one time for the one time. I am your host, Famous Amos, AKA Soul Brother number 3, AKA Your Mother's Last Mistake, AKA He Went That Way, AKA Billy Bordeaux, and last but not least, Pinky.
Actually, I want to add one to mine.
Go ahead and add one. It's never too late.
You'll never find a hairline like mine. I'm not sure if that's an AKA so much as just like a sing-song quote, but
I feel like that might have been an insult to yourself.
I'm always insulting myself. I'm my favorite subject to attack.
I mean, that's pretty good for a stand-up comedian. Know that you always have, jokes on deck for yourself.
Jokes on jokes on jokes. I look like one of the Rock's sperms.
You ever think about potentially what your future as a comic could be? Do you ever think about it to yourself like, damn man, could I be that next Dave Chappelle? Or, where it's just I'm a legendary goat. Could I be that next Kevin Hart where I'm just in all these movies and I gotta have the cleanest image? Or do you think that you could just be that guy that's just strung out on drugs and just doing comedy in the gutter, smells like poop? Not poop on him. It smells like poop.
Just smells like poop. No, I definitely don't have like that high of goals set for myself, but I'm definitely not going to let myself fall that low. I mean, I'm really hoping that once I get discovered and pop, that like my voice takes me places and I'm able to do like a lot of like voiceovers. Speaking of which, I am in like the works of creating a stick figure cartoon. I'm hoping to be able to release that. It's going to be like 5-10 minute segments. Not really sure. Hoping to release that like come September.
You're starting to get into the animating world?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's all done by myself and my girlfriend. So like the animation probably isn't going to be the best. But so far, I feel very confident in what we've been writing, like so far the storyline, character development. For me, that's like the most fun part. I think the animating part, I'm not going to care too much because it's going to be more of how much time I have to work on the skill. But I know as far as like the whole like doing the voice acting, that's the part that I'm really excited for.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Hold on 1 second. Roommates are home.
Well, fuck this nigga and his roommates.
Oh yeah, I like the airflow I was getting. I had to turn my fan and AC off, so I could come in clear and whatnot. So I left my door open, but whatever.
Yeah, actually, that does sound pretty clear. Sounds a lot better than the last few episodes. But yeah, man, I was kind of curious.
I was running my AC. Gets hot in this bitch.
Yeah, I mean, because I have my personal goals, that I'm working towards right now, and working on projects and designing different things. But as far as for your stand-up career, I was just kind of thinking like, do you think that everything you've done in comedy right now, for the most part, has been paving the way for something greater, or just
honestly,
like another chapter in life?
It's gonna be greater. I could already tell. Like, I don't want to sound like full of myself or anything, but honestly, I give it up to like my group. Like, I have like two. I would say I have two very strong groups of friends of comics. Where like we all know each other, but like they're separate groups as far as I could tell, because like they don't move in the same ways. But like both sides are getting booked here and there, and like we're pretty much paving it for each other. And like I feel like that is giving me a lot more confidence moving into the future, because it's at first it's like, well, no matter what, it's always solo dolo, but it doesn't feel like I'm just lone wolfing it anymore. And even like the other comics that I've come into contact with, that like we exchange information and like we actually click. It's one of those things where I'm kind of starting to see it. I'm seeing it all form in the. I'm starting to see it all form. Like I'm bumping shoulders with like guys that are making like 35 grand a weekend just doing 6 shows in that weekend. Like, and it feels good to know that like my stuff is substantial in the same room with them.
Nice, nice. You know, the reason I mean, I just want to hop right into it because I mean, I've had something that I wanted to address, but didn't want to, fully, top on it because I feel like this is the industry as itself is very toxic, and
Mm-hmm.
given the media age that we're in, even the people that cover this information can be very toxic and unforgiving. And when you look back at your career now, do you think you've had it squeaky clean, or do you think you've made some errors along the way that could potentially harm you down the road? Everyone has some skeletons in their
Mm-hmm.
closet. Were you an asshole at a party and cussed out the wrong person? you know were you were you too drunk and were sloppy and just falling all over the place?
I
Were
was
you late to a
definitely
set?
gotcha. I mean, not so much since I well, mm, since doing comedy, there was that one time that I regret so much. And I think that's what kind of stopped me from drinking as much before I get on stage. And it was the one show that I bought tickets for Sam for. I remember because I bought tickets for him, he like shot me $20 and all I could drink the whole night. And I got stupid drunk. And like that's so I won't say I regret it, because if anything, I learned like a very important lesson from that, which is like just stop getting shit faced before you go on stage. I'm not Ron White. I can't just slam back a bunch of cognacs and still be standing strong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was a learning experience for you, but then it's also a double learning experience because it's like one of those things where you may have learned, definitely you learned your limit where you can consume and go on stage, but then also that may have been like a test from Sam. Like, let me give this guy
Hmm.
basically, entry and unlimited drinks. Let me see how he takes that. Is he gonna get stupid shit faced, or is he just gonna have a few drinks? Because he may go up to you like, "Hey, I gave you unlimited alcohol," and you're like, "No, I'm good. This is business right now." Maybe once I'm
Hmm.
off stage,
Hmm.
then I'll start going to Pound Town. But so I mean, that's good that you saw that because for those of the
Yeah, I walked into that bitch lit. uh,
because I was just getting into that for two reasons.
mhm.
The first one is going to be the more important one, and the one that I really want to discuss with you and your opinion on it, because I do have my own opinion. It's a situation with Chris D'Elia.
Oof,
Now, I want to really
touchy
get your
button,
take on
bro.
it, because my stance is once you turn 18, it's like anything under that is just off limits. Of course, we don't got to say anything. And what he did wasn't illegal. It's just
Mm.
like it's skating on that thin ice and kind of teetering on what could potentially get you caught up, which is of course jailbait.
Yeah,
Now, with that
it's
being
scumbaggery.
with that being said, let me get your hot take before I start picking your brain apart.
Hmm. Well, me personally, I'm not attracted. Well, I shouldn't say that, but generally, I'm not attracted to the 18-year-old woman. For one, I feel like the conversation isn't like it's too far apart. Like that's a 10-year difference for me. Who knows? I guess some people are into shit like that, but generally, I also feel like 18 is just getting way too low. Like that's, I mean, I forgot who I was listening to, but like they're saying that 18 is barely legal. That must make 17 barely illegal. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where, like, just for me, I try to stay away from it. I like 21 and up so far. But even once you get down to like 21, it's still like a pretty big age gap, 8 years. So it's like not much to relate on. That's kind of my take on it. But like as far as the Chris D'Elia situation, yeah, he didn't do anything illegal, and I feel like, I mean, I said scumbag earlier, but it's really not because it is in that legal realm, and as long as it's consensual, it's should be cool. But it's kind of fucked up that these girls who seem to be into it, and then even when he did find out that they were too young, he's like, "Oh, never mind." So that right there shows you what it is. And then there's one of them that once she turned 21 last year, she hit him back up like, "Hey, guess who's 21 now?" And he went
Or
ahead.
just
He
a
didn't even reply
DTF in
back.
it in the same message.
Yeah, exactly. And like he didn't reply back, which I think is a good move on his part
Because
because
it
like
shows
I
that he's
know
not grooming.
exactly, exactly. Especially like there's because there's those big figures that were grooming like what? Who was that one dude? Elvis was
Jeffrey
one.
Epstein.
I wouldn't know.
No,
Jeffrey Epstein was
he was doing
actually
he was doing a lot more than just grooming, but
yeah, but what was the one dude that ended up adopting an Asian daughter and then once she became of age, she married her? It was a Jew comedian back in the day with glasses. I forgot his name.
Mel Brooks.
Not Mel Brooks. There's something, I think something with a W. He fought a kangaroo once.
Man, I can't speak
I
on that. Then
I know one of our viewers is probably screaming the fucking name at us right now. Like, you fucking moron, you don't know their name?
it's like it was George. Remember the nigga James?
The nigga James, the
It was
nigga,
the nigga James. Yeah.
Actually, like I found out like apparently they're coming at Joey Diaz also now.
Well, then that's what I kind of wanted to get your opinion on because it seems like there was a lot of people not within that community circle, comedy
Mhm,
circle, and just that things, that's a tight crew. But just it seemed like on Twitter there was a bunch of people that were giving Chris D'Elia a lot of shit, or at least
mhm,
trying to already paint him as something that he wasn't before it
mhm,
was even brought to light. Like that's why
mhm,
I didn't post anything about it. I didn't make anything on our page known about the Chris D'Elia situation until more
mhm.
evidence came out because I really
Yes,
like Chris D'Elia. And
same.
so I know there's a personal bias to it. Like I followed his career for a little bit and just like
Mhm,
not like super hard, but just like when I started seeing him getting traction, I was like, this guy's funny. Like, just something about
yeah.
his style and his comedic pause that,
Mhm,
resonated with me. So when I saw that, I was like, I don't know, this guy doesn't seem like he would. But then, on that show, he played a pedophile. On that
yes.
other show, he kind of played a creep pedophile. So it's just like,
Yes.
it's like maybe that was like the winking at us from Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I can't tell you that I am, but I can tell you that I am. Like, and then,
Exactly.
but then once I
Don't I
came,
play this role well?
yeah, exactly. It's like once I saw the actual communication come out and I saw what the messages were, it's like, okay, he's just one of those dudes, which to me is still creepy nonetheless. Like,
Mhm, mhm,
I mean, and this is just it goes how it goes. Everyone's gonna have a different opinion, and I know even our listeners, I would love to hear in the comment section of this video, or even just comment on our last post. To me, I'm not going to say that I'm not, I'm not going to call a woman not beautiful. I can look at an 18-year-old girl and say, oh, that's a beautiful chick. But as
mhm,
far as being sexually attractive, it's not really there because it's still too young.
mhm,
And with me,
mhm,
I'm really only attracted to chicks within about a 5 to 6 year age range. So I'm 28 right
mhm,
now. Like, if I saw a girl that was 21, it's like, even then, it's like, okay, you're too young. That's 7 years difference. We really don't relate to much. Like, we probably don't even have the same like genre of music interests and stuff. Like, we could
mhm,
probably be cool and friends, and like maybe like I'd have to actually try to like put in work, but like as far as thinking like, nah, like I wouldn't try to actively date someone that's like that
mhm,
much younger than me. So when I look at Chris D'Elia's situation, I just see him as one of those dudes that like he probably watches a lot of barely legal porn. You know,
Mhm.
he's one of those dudes, and then and to me that's just a fucked up concept. Like I'm
Yeah.
watching barely, so that means I kind of want to see the illegal shit, but I really don't want to get in trouble with the
Yeah,
government.
it kinda into Lolita or some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I could
Like,
see that.
I always like, for me, when I look at a woman, like, I don't know, there's something about I look at the forehead wrinkles. That's what I kinda try to spot, and, like, I see,
You
like,
can't do
how
that.
developed
I feel like
I try to
no, no,
see.
no. I gotta stop you right there on that one. You can't use that forehead wrinkle like a tree method, nigga. Because the thing is, because like, all right, picture this: Asian
I
chicks,
like them scarred.
Asian
I like them
chicks,
scarred.
uh, black chicks,
Mm,
some Hispanic chicks, and
mm,
like really people with melanin and color, they don't get those same deep forehead wrinkles. But white girls,
mhm,
what I notice, it's
mm,
either they get them and they're super deep, or they're one of
mm.
the girls that don't, or they get Botox. And I've learned through
Yeah,
my sister
I
and her
feel that.
friends that Botox is so much more common than I thought.
Yeah, so is lip
Botox,
injections.
yeah, lip injections too, and I don't approve. I'm not a fan of lip injections. If you're gonna do Botox, I guess, because I heard Botox really doesn't have like negative effects, so to
Uh-huh.
say, unless you hit a nerve. But then like, yo, that's like a risk of like rolling the dice. But
There are some that take it way too far where it's like, "Ooh, you should have left that alone."
like, and I realize with age, I'm starting to mature more, I think. Now
Mhm,
again, this all doesn't come to, you know, what I think looks good and is appropriate, but it's like to me,
mm,
I'm no longer into fake tits and asses. It's like none of that stuff is attracted to me like at all. Like I'll be like, oh yeah, that girl looks good. I know her tits are
mhm,
fake, and it's like I'm not gonna say she's not beautiful, but at the same
mhm.
time, it's like I wouldn't want to ever date a girl with fake tits or a fake ass.
I would never do fake ass. I could do fake titties.
Nah.
I don't mind the boobies. I feel like it's just because, they've always been around, and I just know that they're out there, and it doesn't that's one of the ones that doesn't bother me. Unless, of course, once again, it's overdone. I hate overdone shit. It's like you should have just left it alone if you're gonna like, if you're 5'2", weigh 110 pounds, and you have double Ds, it's knock that shit off. I know you're lying to us.
Now,
Go ahead, get some C's. You'll look perfect with C's, but don't go like fucking. Don't go ham with it.
now my question to you is like, and I think I know the answer, but I'm still going to ask you these series of questions because it's a fucking podcast. We need
Mhm,
content. Which also, shout out to the listeners. Everyone that tunes in week to week, everyone that tells their friends and shares. I just want to let you guys know that we do this for you.
yeah,
This
thanks
is
for putting up with our
it's
bullshit.
your podcast, not just ours. But okay, so have you felt fake titties and known that like
Mm.
because I've
Yeah,
had on
actually, I
multiple
have.
times where like it's been like, oh, I've been at a strip club. Oh, this is my first time feeling fake titties, and I've had girls be like,
Mm,
"Hi, I have fake titties. Feel my fake titties
mm.
because I just bought them." And it's like, oh, this is creepy, but
Yeah. No,
so
yeah, definitely 2 casual feelings of some fake titties. There's a girl I dated that got fake titties. They're way too big. I felt them. They felt alright, but since I knew what her original titties felt like, it was kinda like, your original titties felt better." And then there's another girl that I met that had a moderate boob job done. Her titties actually, I completely did not know they were fake until she told me, and she was like, "Yeah, feel them." And honestly, I couldn't really tell a difference. And then
mm,
there's also a time, well, a couple of times that I went to a strip club. Just a few times I went to a strip club where the chick had fake titties. It was obvious because like they're small Asian women, and like they got these big old fake boobies. Where I mean, they're all right. They looked fake though.
and that's what I'm saying. It's like it's cool to look at, maybe cool to touch, but that's not what you want to roll over to and wake up to every day. And the thing is also
Yeah, I
because
agree.
I have someone who shall not be named, but his girl just had her boob implants taken out.
Do I know this person?
Nah, you don't know this person.
Okay.
But and like it just kind of hit me one day on accident, like, because it's like, yo,
Wait,
that
took him out?
it's the homie's girl, so I'm not staring at her tits, but you can
Uh-huh.
tell when someone, when they look nice, when they fill out their shirt, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
You can tell when
gotcha, gotcha.
someone fills out a shirt, and it's like, okay, cool. And she made a comment uh when I was we were working on my car, and I was like, oh, you're getting your tits, breasts taken out? Like, I didn't really think you had fake tits, but whatever. Like, once you said that, now I know you have fake tits. And then I was up, I went to the homie's house, and we're having some beers, kicking it, and she comes over, and like she's wearing a sundress, and it's like I see the way that the sundress kind of falls,
Uh-huh.
and it doesn't look as lovely as as other women.
Oh,
And I was just like, oh wow, like you really had implants, like
damn. She
you
downgraded?
like super downgraded, like almost like an
Goddamn.
A.
Ooh, wow. No, yeah, I feel like if a woman has like some like I feel more like maybe not so much implants, but maybe like
And I might be, and
what it
I'm not the best, breastis measurer, but all I'm saying is that it went
uh
dramatically down. And the funny thing
yeah.
is, the homie made a comment like when she wasn't around, like before she was gonna do it. I was like, it's like, man, I'm just gonna fucking spend these next few days staring at my girl's tits. She's getting her fucking implants taken out, and I started dying. And then now that I think about it, it's like, man, like that's such a dramatic thing. Like, if your girl,
Yeah.
I mean, again, that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta love someone for who they are, but when you have
Yeah.
something that you came into the relationship knowing, and then you find out that, oh, you're taking them out, it's like, oh,
So,
like,
yeah, it's kind of just, I am a personal fan of the breast lift though. Like some women have like some saggy titties and like I get them boys whipped up into brand new shape.
dead
They
ass.
don't have to look they don't have to look beat up for the rest of your life.
The only plastic surgery that I support is when women want to do the whole mommy makeover thing, get a little tummy tuck, breast lift. I mean, if they
Mhm.
if they just had 4 of your kids, let them have some work done, make sure that they feel good, because that can be a part of like postpartum and
Snap
shit,
that
like,
back.
and it's a fucked up thing, but I've always considered the woman a phoenix. She destroys her body to give birth to something new and beautiful.
I could agree with that.
And as fucked up
I
as it may
kind of
sound, and to our
uh,
like 2% female listeners out there, I think you might agree. Like, because think about it, they always talk about, oh, you
mm,
can possibly tear your vagina. Oh, after breastfeeding, your tits are never the same. So it sounds like you're literally tearing down your body to give life to to your future. Like, just like the phoenix dies and rises again from the ashes, like women
bro,
are the phoenix.
bro. I just found out women's uteruses could fall out of them.
Wait, what? Like a
Yeah.
prolapsed anus?
Essentially like the shit that like the baby gets carried in if I don't know how but it could just fall out of their vagina.
I guess it just shows that I did not pay attention during like a lot of parts of human biology and sex
I don't
education.
think they taught us that on purpose.
I probably didn't, because
That shit's scary.
yeah,
Imagine
that
if one of your nuts just spat out of your dick. I'd cry.
dude, the first time I pissed blood, I cried for a little bit. I got really panicked, and then I had to Google what would happen, and it was because like I took a really really strong hit in football. And apparently, like
uh,
when you get like hit in like I think it's like your liver or something really hard,
Liver and kidneys, yeah.
yeah, you'll pee a little bit of blood, and it's
Yeah.
weird because like it wasn't like necessarily like the darkest of color, but it kind
Hmm.
of had like a little streak in it, like it was weird. So
Yeah.
like yeah, that was, and then once that happened, I was like, you should like no man should ever see blood come out of his penis ever.
Yeah, I remember when I pissed blood. I remember it was coming out and I saw the red color and like I just smoked weed. I remember as I was looking at it, I was like, you know what? I haven't drank Hawaiian Punch in a long time. I bet that's why my piss is coming out red.
What the fuck? That's not how it works. That's not.
And, and then a blood clot came out, and then I was like, oh my God, and I almost passed out right there. But like, I ended up going to the doctor, and they were pretty much like, yeah, you're cool. I think what it had to do with was my heavy drinking that I was doing. Like, I was drinking really, really heavy
Honestly,
and getting very little sleep, probably
that's
like 4 hours a
terrifying.
night.
That's terrifying,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, that shit's. Ooh, you'll pray for Jesus. If you're not a religious person, you turn religious instantly. You're just like, oh God, please don't let me die right now. Please let me be able to keep my junk. God, please, I need answers from you because like nobody. I feel like maybe it's our father's fault for like not teaching their sons what to do in that situation. That's one of those things that nobody tells you what to do
No one
when
wants to
blood
talk about that,
clots are
Tim.
kicking.
Like, if it wasn't for my dad always told me as a kid growing up, and this may sound weird to some people in 2020, but he always said, hey, whenever you go to the shower, ever so often, well, like while you're in there,
Rub your ball.
you gotta play with your balls, like to see, you gotta
Mm-hmm.
check for lumps, gotta do all that. So I've always been sure, like it's in never. And he's like, and if anything other than pee comes out, you let me know. And then he said, if you're sexually active, you use a rubber. Like I got my condom showed to me at like in third grade. My dad's like, oh well, my sister's getting the talk. Might as well do a twofer. Come on in here, little nigga. We talking about sex, birds and the bees. And then that shit was so fucked up. But he kept it so real. And honestly, like I feel like he scared the shit out of me when it came to sex. Like I was so scared about sex, and it was honestly on some Boys in the Hood shit where it wasn't about like the act of sex. It was just like the fact that it can only take one time to potentially father a son if your pullout game ain't strong, and like you just accidentally like a little bit, like a little squirt gets out. Like, yeah, that shit's crazy.
Yeah, all my bitches take kickboxing lessons.
That's
That's how
all
you
cool.
deal with that.
That's cool to say, but as a third grader, I'm just like, you mean I could do this one act one time, and all of a sudden, just my life and dreams are over? Yes.
It was funny. My girlfriend was telling me about her son, and he was asking about babies and where they come from. He's 5 years old, so she's not ready to have the talk with him. But she kind of like did like a little like breakdown of it, and like was telling him how like women have babies and they have to get pregnant. And then like I guess he was just confused, and so he was like, "Wait, so you're gonna have my baby?" And just like, no, no, no. And then she's like, "No, what? Let's just put a pin in it. We'll talk about this later on in life when like the time is right."
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's an awkward one that you don't want to give too much information because it's a young mind, and then you're going to end up spoiling it.
I feel like it's something where, I don't know, like I've thought about that. How would I break down the birds and the bees to my future kid?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I feel like I would just leave it with enough hints. And then I would say, it's like every year, from like the first time he asked it, I'll say every year on your birthday, we'll have this conversation. So that way,
Hmm.
every year he gets a little bit older, and then every year I give a little bit more and a little
I
bit
feel
more.
that.
And then by the time that I think he's ready, do what my dad did to me, Here's what a condom is. What's a
Mm.
condom? Well, this is what you use when you have sex. What's sex? Well, that's how you make a baby. What? And
Yeah.
then I got to break down a little bit of biology, and then I got to break down the
Mm-hmm.
9-month cycle, and then I got to show him that movie, Who's Talking Now, and then there's like some shit, some shit I got to throw in the works, like
Yeah.
I got to
Yeah.
use a little bit of film, a little bit of cinema, hopefully big mouths open out by then, like.
I would just like, here, this is how I learned. Watch Two Girls, One Cup.
Oh my God, what the fuck is wrong with you?
A little crash course in making love.
Nah, dude,
It's actually kind of fucked up. I don't think I received the birds and bees talk from my parents. I had to just kind of figure it out on my own. I kind of always knew though. Like I picked up enough at a young age, and then school taught some. So I just kind of picked it up on my own, and then maybe that's why I'm kind of fucked up.
That
And
potentially
then
could be
also I got
so.
touched a couple times as a kid.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we could just keep going.
Hmm.
Yeah, don't want to talk about that on this podcast. Not today. Maybe one day I'll talk more openly about that. But it's something that I've been coming more to terms with and being more comfortable like putting out there.
Well,
Because I
speaking of
mean,
coming to terms with it,
yeah,
Jeffrey Epstein's confidant, Ghislaine,
Ghislaine.
Ghislaine Maxwell has been arrested on sex abuse charges.
Yeah, I'm actually very excited about that. I think. How much do you want to bet she's going to die soon?
What's the
I
over and
want.
under, you think?
Let's see.
Weeks. Let's talk weeks. Let's talk weeks here. I'm talking about 14 oh, talking about 1422.
When does
14
she
over, 22 under.
when does
She
she
commits suicide.
yeah, when does she go when does she go into custody? Is she already in custody? Is that
Um,
known, or is
she's
she not in custody
I
yet?
believe so. She's in custody.
Oh shit.
They got her. They got, you know.
Honestly, I want to say she's going to be suicided within 2 weeks, but I think they might let her live.
And it's from the charges they're dating from at least 1994 to 1997.
Oh shit, they're going to kill that bitch. That's when
So
Clinton was in
that's
presidency.
what, and yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, what do
Oh
you think is going to be the real life, possibility that she might, commit suicide?
man, honestly, if I have to be real, I don't think she's going to commit suicide, but I don't think she's going to release any further information. Something's going to happen. She's not going to give the full story. She's probably going to take a lot of blame on herself or put it all on Epstein since he's already dead,
I think
you
she's
know?
going to play ball. She's going to play ball,
Yes.
and she's basically going to make it so essentially they have no case, and they're going to
Yes.
make Jeffrey Epstein's suicide seem like he really was a sick man, because
Hmm.
since this was his confidant, she'll be able to testify and say, Jeffrey was really depressed. He wasn't as he seemed. He dealt with demons. This is
Hmm.
all wrong. And
Yeah.
by that, and then probably make up some type of crazy, confession or something that makes everything else seem like it fits the narrative.
Hmm. Yeah, they can't kill her because if they kill her, that's going to be way too obvious. Both of them just happen to commit suicide while they're in police custody. No, they can't have that. Who knows? Actually, I really hope they do suicide her.
If
I think that shit will be astronomical. That would be so fucking cool. Like, I mean, that kind of sucks that like that happened, but like just to see that in real life, that would be just like the
well,
the truth is out
I just feel like there's
at
been
that point.
so much shit going on right now. Like, all right, so some of our listeners that are, tuning in right now, they may be in the same boat that, I'm in, you're in, we kind of all may be thinking about. We've been talking about this type of shit for almost going on 10 years. Not really 10 years. I would say give it about 8 or 9. No, 8 or 7. 7, 8.
Mm-hmm.
2012 was like our peak. That's like when we really started getting into like UFO disclosures. We started hearing about
Mm-hmm.
Planet X, Nibiru. We started
Mm-hmm.
hearing about the police state. Um, and speaking of which, just because like we said police state, I always want to make sure Gray State, The Rise, and this movie got a man killed. So always remember that. David Crowley, he was murdered
Mm-hmm.
because he was trying to make
Mm-hmm.
that film.
I remember that shit.
And then just like, the Alex Jones phase, and then all the InfoWars stuff, and just kind of like being, quote unquote woke, and starting to learn more about the history of this country, history
Mm-hmm.
of secret societies and ancient history, and how it all ties together, to the point
Mm-hmm.
where now it's like things are happening that we have been saying and kind of trying to tell friends and kind of bringing up to family members to have conversations about what ifs,
Mhm.
to now where it's like it's almost to the point where we're like, I told you so.
Yeah.
But what good is I told you so
Hmm.
when it's too late?
Exactly. Yeah. It's kind of. I was talking about this with one of my coworkers. It's aggravating because it's all right there in our face, and I mean, there's the few of us who are like going around like actively talking about this, but for some reason, people still try to like lie about like, for example, when the whole Epstein thing, when he suicided himself. My mom, the least conspiracy or political person I know, when he got into custody, the police custody, she was like, "Oh, he's gonna turn up dead." And sure enough, he turned up dead. And it's one of those things where it's like you acknowledge that there's this shiesty shit going around, but yet you don't subscribe to it when you know it is a real thing that goes on. Everybody knows that the Clintons have a body count, but yet they're still comfortable with them like parading around in different sectors of politics. And for me, it's like it's pretty crazy because like it's like at what point do we say enough is enough? And it seems like everybody's ready to like go to war over race, which is a good cause and all that. But like, why are we doing this on street levels when there is much bigger fish to fry? And pretty much the whole way that the world is ran is it's ran by fucking cretins. And it's like, why aren't we getting these people out of office? Why is it so hard for everybody to like agree with each other and say, yeah, let's stop dirty politicians?
I think that you know, the idea of dirty politicians is something people don't want to really come to grips with. So we know politicians are dirty and crooked, and yet we won't do anything to
Yes.
lock them up or stop it. It's just we make movies, we do demonstrations, but we still know that they serve a purpose. You know,
Hmm.
they're pawns on the chessboard. Like I was talking to the homie Deej yesterday actually, and I was telling him like, can you name 10 congressmen? Can you name 10 senators?
Hmm.
It's like I can't. And those are the people that actually have, like, you know, that have
Hmm.
power because it's the power of their vote and the
Hmm.
swing of things. You know, that's why you have people that can be bribed and manipulated and,
Hmm.
you know, can, you know, make them be a big man amongst their peers. And there's
Hmm.
things like that. And, you know, we always talk about the power parable, you know, power
Hmm.
corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. We know that the president has the fame of celebrity and they
Hmm.
have the power of persuasion, but they don't
Hmm.
necessarily, you know, have absolute power, but they have
Not at all.
the grander power of being in the spotlight, but they have powers within the shadows, you know,
Hmm.
which is kind of how you gotta look at it. Like
They're all
remember
being puppeteered.
remember that movie I Pet Goat? You had the
Yes.
puppet in the spotlight, but all the powers were within the shadow, you know,
Hmm.
looking within. And I think
Hmm.
that's what people fail to realize. So that's what I was trying to kind of get at. Like, you know, we've been talking about this stuff for so long, and I'm starting to hear conversations from people that necessarily wouldn't be talking about conspiracies 7 years ago or 4 years
Hmm.
ago or 3 years ago, 2 years ago, last year. Like it's only been because of 2020 people have actually started looking into conspiracies and alternative media and
Hmm.
alternative you know, alternative thought. So
Yeah.
I'm just kind of saying, like, do you ever feel kind of exhausted? Because sometimes I feel exhausted bringing up these same points and these same things and just kind of seeing it happen. Like, man, like it's crazy how like when you get DMs and people send you links and you're just like, yeah, all the negative shit I was talking about is now coming true.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, bruh, is this really happening? Or is this really a matrix or simulation?
Mm-hmm. It's like how you said before. The curtain is being lifted. Well, I think you said the scroll is unfolding or some shit like that. But I feel like that's pretty much what's happening. Like, I don't want to say we're coming to an end of the show, but uh, I don't know. I don't want to say the end of the show because I believe like life is still going to go on after this. There's so much more to still uncover, but we are definitely going through a time where I'm getting kind of worried because I've said it before. I'll say it again. I don't feel like we're on the winning side. I feel like all the things that they want to happen are happening and they're getting their way. And I don't think people are going to wake up fast enough. And even once they do wake up, I don't think they're going to do anything because I mean you kind of tell what's going to happen. I mean this whole like mask thing, it's all about compliance. They don't care if we get sick or not. They're just making sure that we listen to them. And I mean, so far everybody's listening to them. Everybody's complying. And that's what worries me because everybody's so much like, oh man, what would you do? What would you do if Hitler was rounding up if you were around while Hitler was rounding up the Jews? Well, if you're doing nothing, that's if you're doing right now, if you're doing nothing right now in these times, you'd probably be doing nothing back in those times. And I feel like that's essentially where we're at. I don't feel like we're going to fight back. And even if we were to fight back, we're too busy not focusing our energy in the same direction. We're at each other's throats.
You know what's funny? I Pet Goat is kind of happening now.
Yes, it is.
Like, remember the whole scene where they had the rebellion, going up against the government, but then you
Mm-hmm.
had Death tap her on the shoulder again, reminding her that it's like it's futile. You're just gonna die anyway, because
Mm-hmm.
what do we have right now around the corner? Coronavirus still,
Mm-hmm.
reminding us that we can still get infected with something and just die. We don't know who will die from it and who won't die from it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's really crazy, man. Like, we're all being programmed. Like, our new programming and training has started at the age of a new decade, 2020.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Clear vision so you can see the future, and this is going
This
to
is
be
the
our
new
future.
normal.
It really is. And it's just we can do is slowly try to retain our independence.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I know I need to start doing, and it's fucked up, but now that we're getting older in age, we got to start choosing our hobbies and what we can really do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to start restricting a lot of my hobbies to just basically my car and art, and
Well,
that's basically it. Like, I'm not gonna I can't keep doing all the tech stuff and
mm-hmm.
keeping up with the Joneses and trying to get new graphics cards, or just keep buying all the new games. Like, I'll wait for more sales, I'll do things like that, of course. Like, but I think some things that are more important is, like, I can't spend money on my bike, but do what Scoot did. Slowly build a garden, learn what it takes to grow food, learn
Mm-hmm.
real skills. Like,
I agree with that. I
because
agree with that.
that's what it's going to come down to eventually, is just like, it's going to
Gonna have to go
eventually,
off the grid.
like, not go off the grid, because I feel like that's, now we're getting on the other side of the extreme. It's going to have to be learning to live within the system, but not depend on a lot of autonomized production,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what it's gonna, I feel like that's what they're testing right now. They're trying to get people used to being cattled up and penned up within their homes. They're, not going outside, not
Mm-hmm.
exercising. you know they're looking at the people that are exercising as like, okay, these are the people that are like It's like, when you're trying to get the best slave or something. Okay, those people that are going out and tracking their movements. Okay, those are the ones we need to keep an eye on. They'll fight back. The ones that have just
Hmm.
been in their houses every day, day by day, because they can track your data. They know you have certain
Hmm.
apps like Amazon, or when they ask for your geolocation so you can get a good deal and things in your
Hmm.
area. Like all that information can be it is collected, and you don't know how it can be distributed and how it's sold. And just because I'm talking in a negative doesn't mean that there's someone out there on a black budget doing the negative.
Yeah. I read something where I think I talked about this, but there's somebody suing a lot of the major corporations because they're they're pretty. It's inhumane the way that they use our collected data that they've been collecting on this. Like they're pretty much eliminating free will in a way by shoving ads that they know we're going to want to bite to. That's why me personally, whenever I see an ad pop up on anything, I skip it as soon as I can. But uh, it's pretty much they have so much collected data on us that they have almost have a map of our own brains. They know what triggers us, what turns us on and so forth. Um,
They can read
but
your
even
eyes through the camera.
even with the whole curfew situation that was going on, I think it's still going on in some places. What's the first thing that happened when they enacted the curfew?
Our phones went
They
off and ringing.
Yes, they sent you pretty much a personalized text message. How do they do that? It's because they already got your data from the phone company. They already know where you're at. They know where you're at all the time. They don't have to track they're not specifically following you, but just because they're not specifically following you doesn't mean they don't know where you're at any given time.
Yeah,
There
honestly.
is no more privacy.
Hmm.
Yeah, this podcast is going to a dark place really quick.
And that's what I'm saying. And I don't want people to be in that dark place, because I want
Yeah.
them to know that there's like, I feel like you have to be now the light within this dark world, because
Mhm.
I've noticed that there's been a lot of people committing suicide. Like a lot of people committing suicide.
When, where, why? Well, ooh, actually, yeah, I've known some people. I've now known some people.
Yeah, and I've been seeing posts on Instagram of like people that have been dying. And the thing is, like, honestly, maybe you can say, hey, fame, you kind of diving into shit, or you
Mm,
kind of think, but I've been seeing people like posting, and it's like they're talking about people that are dying, and I'm reading the caption, and when someone dies to cancer, when someone dies, usually of a tragedy or accident, there's a way that they word it, where it's like, and like, it's like, man, you were taken too soon, taken,
mhm,
okay, like, or like, man, like, it's like, hey, you fought hard, cancer, usually, or if it's anything else like a murder or something, even that, like, it's
mhm.
when someone's murdered.
Yeah,
But when someone commits suicide, there's always like a tone of pain, anger, and like you're like, fuck,
yeah,
you killed yourself, but at the same time, I don't know what you went through, and I'm not going to speak ill of the dead. And you can kind of see in the post, because like, you're trying to say how they die, and then it's like, I wish I could have been there for you when you were in your, and
mhm,
I'm like, oh wait, what do you mean you
yeah.
wish you could have been there? If that's your boy, if
Why
that's
didn't
your
you contact me?
yeah, why don't you contact, yeah. So that's like, whenever I see that, it's like, damn, man, it's like, think about the people right now that are single and going through this shit.
Ooh,
I have, my girlfriend, you have a
mhm.
girlfriend, there's like, I mean, we have homies that are single, but like, some, like, they have roommates or something. It's like,
Yeah, this is you have to be at peace with yourself right now because it's not coming from anywhere else. If you're not at peace with yourself, then I could imagine that what's going on right now is probably very hard, especially if you have nobody to talk to. That's why, like, I feel like if you live at home with like your parents or any type of family members, you have to like learn how to be with them. You should like I know well me personally, I lock myself up in my room because I go to work. I have and my uncle's on the older side. I already have 5 cases of corona at my work. I don't want to be the one that brings that shit home and gets them sick, you know? So mine's a little different, but I do go to my girlfriend's house and like we hang out. I have that person to talk to, but like I know there's other people out there that like they hate their living situation and they don't have anyone to communicate with. Like I see this shit on Reddit all the time where like people are stressed because all they have is themselves and maybe a fucking pet iguana, you know, but like that's not gonna cut it as far as social interaction. Because we're humans and like that's a necessity. I mean, if you look at prison inmates, I believe it's like after like 2 weeks of being in the hole, most of them end up cracking a little bit. They don't come out of the hole the same person because
No,
you're by
facts.
yourself for 2 weeks. Probably even after a week, that shit'll start getting to you.
That's why Khalif Bronner, the guy out of New York, they had him in like solitary confinement for I think almost like 2 years, like worth of time. Like, and
That's
he
fucked
ended
up.
up killing himself because he even said before, like, I'm not right. Like that shit fucked me up in the
That's
head. Like you watch the
that's
documentary
inhumane.
on Netflix, and that's what I'm saying. It's
Mm,
like that's just another aspect of just police brutality. You know, Black Lives Matter on that shit. Like,
mm,
and the fucked up thing is too, like Black Lives Matter is such a fucked up like it's such a fucked up movement right now because I know what the intention is behind it, but I
mhm.
feel like it has been co-opted
Oh
by some
yes, it has.
bad people, you
Oh
know,
yes, it has.
that are the you know like trained Marxists and people that have like their own
Mhm.
agendas where like they really just want to tear down America from our Constitution, which you know
Yeah,
already know how I feel in the Constitution.
yeah. I forgot what podcast I was watching, but one of the guys was saying how the two. I'm not sure if they're the leaders, but they're two at least figureheads. They're at least speaking to the press, and they were saying that they were trained Marxists.
Yeah, yeah.
And then even when you look at the funding or who funds Black Lives Matter, we talked about this before. George Soros is one of the funders, and he's known for pretty much spending his money to start revelations,
Revolutions.
revolutions. Jesus Christ, I forgot that word. And that to me is like very disturbing.
But still from what we've been seeing though, as far as like bringing the light to people that may have been wrongfully killed by scared cops. And that's what I think a lot of it is
Mm,
too. Like, again, cops are under a lot of stress and they have a
mm,
lot of shit going through them. I think a lot of them are really scared. And
mm,
I was saying to Diesel the other day. I was like, "Yo, like I think what this is gonna do is it's gonna change cops training, and
mm,
a lot of cops are gonna start like let's just say this, and this is the situation like with the guy that got killed at Wendy's. They already had his car. I think they got his information. They knew who he was. Okay, if he's taken off running after that scuffle or whatever, okay, at that point, and he takes your taser, and he took the weapon, instead of
yeah,
running after him to gun him down, why don't you take defensive position and be like, yo, we're gonna let him get away. It's just a taser. It's
exactly.
just a taser. It's not. All right, for sure. It's a taser. It's
Can't
not.
even kill someone with that.
Exactly. It's not like it's your non-lethal weapon. So why are you tripping? All right. You have all his information. You have his card. Let him get away. Put out an
Exactly.
APB. Like, yo, we have so and so. He just assaulted an officer. We got to bring him in. Put him out
Hmm.
on the news or whatever if you have to. Like, make that more available without having to pay airtime and just be like,
Hmm.
yo, so and so assaulted an officer. So we need, and then he can be like, yo, I'm gonna turn myself in. I'm sorry. I was tripping. I'm gonna put,
Exactly.
and then boom, he doesn't have to die. But
Exactly. He didn't have to die.
what I think is the issue
Pardon
though
my
is I think the pride, like how many cops would want to be like, oh, that motherfucker let me get away, or just like, nah, like I think the arrogance and the pride of not wanting to take an L on the
Mhm.
streets is what makes so many cops pull out their gun.
I could agree with that. I could definitely agree with that because that was definitely one of those murders that's unjust. I think because, like you said, it was a non-lethal weapon. That right there tells you that lethal force isn't necessary, and he's running, so
Mhm.
you shoot the man in the back. It's
Like what happened to
that's it.
what happened to the good old days when it was like, catch me again, copper. Just like take off
you
running.
better
Like,
get
like,
you
damn it,
better get me
Tyrone,
before I
I'll
cross
get you
the
next
Kentucky
week.
border. Fucking Daz Dillinger just jumping states, and then the cops can't do anything about it. And everybody knows he's a known criminal.
It's like,
He's a career criminal, and they can do nothing about it until they develop the CIA.
yeah. Imagine the scenario. It's like the cops are running up on the guy who's selling dope on the corner. Instead of gunning him down, the guy like he drops his dope and takes off running. It's like, well, we got his dope. We'll get him next time. There's drugs off the street. A man is
Mhm,
still alive. Now he has to answer to his drug dealer, so he might get
mhm.
killed anyways.
Yeah, that's true. That's street justice. Or what
There's
you could do
always
is you could
another
leave the
equation. Like,
drugs there and use it as bait.
wait, what? Oh, so you get the fiends? Like you just pick it. That's so. Hey, I hope no cops are listening to this podcast. We might see. Hey, that's why they don't want us to be the police.
Dude, if I was a cop, I'd be so lenient. I'd be like, "What is this? Heroin? Get out of here!
Yeah, I would.
I'm looking
Yeah.
for murderers." No, yeah, I do think that defunding the police is the last thing we want to do. I think if
Whoa, whoa,
anything, we want.
whoa, whoa. Explain yourself.
That's what I was about to do until you rudely walla la la over me. But I think we're actually better off like spending more money on them. Maybe what we shouldn't be doing, because I mean, look at the 91 Watts riots and then compare that shit to now.
92.
92? Yeah, 92. What I specifically noticed is that the cops have tanks now and all this other military gear. I think that shit is fucking bananas. They shouldn't be. What the fuck? Jesus Christ. Fucking animals. I don't think they should be having shit like that. Like, I think for like certain situations, maybe like that's why you have SWAT and shit like that. But I could tell right there that they're spending the money wrong. What they need to be doing is putting that money into training them, teaching them different languages, teaching them different martial arts and social skills, not giving them bigger, more powerful weapons. So, and that where like, I mean, honestly, if I was a cop and you just tossed a AR-15 in my hand, gave me ballistic armor, and you had a tank behind me, I'm like, oh shit, let's do this. I'm going to fuck shit up. Like I'm going to be excited to use those weapons. And I
That
think
is
that's
true.
why like they spent that money wrong. They should have been teaching them how to be better, more capable human beings, like in hand-to-hand combat and just social skills. And that obviously didn't happen. And then I think even if they did that, that would also scare away that the people that are sociopath. Because I mean, a sociopath isn't going to want to get into a job where it's like, oh man, I actually have to help people. Sociopaths are like, ooh, I want to be a cop so I can get those guns and have all that power. You know what I'm saying? That that automatically attracts them.
Yeah. I think that is definitely one thing too. It's like the guys, the kind of one like, come get some.
Yeah,
But the thing is, when it comes
I feel
to
like
the
Jason
term
Bourne.
defunding, I kind of see it as what they should be doing is looking at those budgets and just reallocating it into other parts of the city that are kind of, more useful. Like, real shit, there's other things that in there in that budget that we can use. Like, okay, they already have the guns, they have the tear
Hmm.
gas. They remember back in like 2015, 2014, we were talking about how like why are they stocking up on all this ammunition, tear gas, all this shit? Well, fucking they've been using it.
This is
They've been using it
this is
now. And we
why.
were saying like they were using it, they bought it for us. It's all for us. So my thing is now it's like, yo, like we need to start putting that shit back into schools especially
Mhm.
schools that are in fucked up neighborhoods, and start
Mhm.
reinvesting in like bad neighborhoods. Like it
Mhm.
is what it is. Like it's kind of like in the same way we've been using it to make new precincts, new cruisers, new this, that, and the third. We need to start doing that same thing within schools. And I think that there also needs to be a new type of training for officers. And it
Mhm.
comes down to, like all the way down from the next generation of people, they need to do more recruiting for their own neighborhoods, things like that. And kind of like when people are starting off, do more charity events
Mhm.
within
Mhm.
the community. Like that needs to be a part of it with all, and then also kind of like just like a way for you to meet officers without it being
Mhm.
hostile. Like,
Mhm.
hey, like we're doing like a little open house thing where it's like if you can come, it's like, and I mentioned this to an officer that I know, but he kept saying, well, officer safety, officer safety. It's like, well, why the fuck are you so afraid of of the people you serve? Like if you can't go into a
Mhm.
gymnasium and have just like just have a place for people to meet you and like talk and just like and be like really relaxed, like yo, it is
Mhm.
like you can have the people guarding you, but like you don't need to have your guns. You can still be in uniform, like yo, I'm officer so and so. Here's
Mhm.
my card. If you have any concerns, like you meet people and actually interact, shake motherfuckers'
Mhm.
hands. Like, granted,
Mhm.
it's COVID time right now, but like officer safety is all I keep hearing. And
What
like,
about civilian safety?
exactly, like,
Nobody gives a fuck about us.
especially if it's a place that you're patrolling, it's like, hey, like let them know, like, hey, I have a new officer on the street for you, or like, but
Mhm.
not like kind of like that, but just like
I'm looking forward to working with you
yeah,
guys.
I'm looking forward to it. Like, but then getting it at the kids level, the kids that live there, like, because then it's like the
Mhm.
kids don't feel afraid. Like, hey, I know these kids. Like,
Mhm.
going to the middle school, just showing up, not getting involved. Like, yo, like you can show up and not be involved with middle school tussles. Like, that's your school's officer, security guy, like whatever. Like, if someone
Mhm.
pulls out a gun, cool. It's like basically like
That's
you
right.
have you ever noticed how cops function at raves and events?
That's the perfect way for him to function. I
That
think everywhere.
no, but that's what I'm saying. So I've done security at EDC,
Mhm.
Coachella, and like
Dude, they
Stagecoach.
see you rolling your balls off and they're like, "Yeah, you could pet my horse. I bet you like it."
Exactly, because they know what their place is. Because there's a thing. It's our job as security to get involved. They're only to get involved. They see drug dealing taking place
Mhm.
or an actual like weapon, like something of that nature. Small
Mhm.
fights, that's security, things like that. But like they're just there in case like a shootout goes. So they're just kicking it in their car, watching everything. But then they have the security
Mhm.
guards take care of all the small bullshit. I feel like that's
Yes.
kind of how cops need to start having more of a role of. And then I feel like a little bit of more small private security needs to be brought. Like Jason, the homie from IG, grow some good weed, make some good chili, solid dude. He was bringing this back up on the
You've
on
had
the
his
chat.
chili?
Yeah, he makes good chili. You should have wanted the chili cook off. I told you about that. She was fire.
I want some chili.
Yeah, I know you want some chili. But but he was basically saying how like I bring it back up like that private security. And I think that with all this shit's going down right now, I
Mhm.
think the private security sector is going to start increasing, and black owned private security is going to start going down. So it's going to be like, all right, for sure, if you live in a hood and things are going down, they're going to have black owned security that's like kind of patrolling certain neighborhoods because they know the community or whatever. They talk to people. They don't need to have
Mhm.
the cops be called for the smallest things. If it's like
Mhm.
a murder or if it's like a shooting, cool, call the cops. But if it's just something small, like a domestic dispute or something like that, where it's
Mhm.
like, yo, what's going on? Y'all are tripping. If it gets too crazy, yo, we'll call the cops. And they gonna come over here and not like they once we call them, they're gonna know it's because we don't want to even do that. So like
Yeah.
chill. Like and it's kind of like how security is. Like when you're at a rave or you're at a party or a club or
Mhm.
something like that, because the security is like, yo, stop wilding. If you start tripping, I gotta call the cops. And
Yes.
like you're not being cool right now. And then usually people are like, oh, you're like, I am bugging.
Yeah, it's like,
Unless
"Oh shit, I have a warrant. I don't want them to get involved."
yeah, or it's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna pop the trunk on these niggas.
Everybody's gonna be right.
Everybody's getting shot. and you get shot too because you stepped to me first. Like what? No, big dog. All right, I gotta clock out early. Peace.
Shit. I was reading this article where it's talking about why or how, I guess, cops in the UK are able to get away with not having guns on them. And pretty much they're saying the reason why that goes on is because since they know police don't have guns on them, people are more willing to do crimes without weapons, because as soon as a gun does get involved, they know that the cops that do have guns on them are going to end up getting called to the scene. And once that happens, then you're going to have a shootout. But over here, what happens is why everybody just has a gun. I mean, since the criminals have guns, because I mean, no matter what, if you're a criminal with or without a gun here in the States, you have the possibility of getting shot. And that's
Yeah,
the biggest difference between here and there, and even say Japan. And that's why like weapons over there only get used when it's like gang on gang violence.
that's so
Just a
fucked
little,
up,
yeah. Pretty much over here, we just know that we're no matter what, it's do or die. Might as
man.
well be strapped.
That's the fucked up part, because then they always say the thing, you know, I'd rather be tried by 12 than carried by 6, and like I feel them,
I think
like,
I'd rather be carried by 6 than tried by 12.
oh, you'd rather be dead.
That's how gangster ass niggas are.
Well, I mean, you're only dead because you're a
I,
weak ass shot.
yeah,
Ever thought about, like, that's how I always thought about it. Like, I was like, I'm getting
what's up?
tried because I killed everybody.
Nah, if you're such a good shot, then you should have took out the motherfuckers coming after you just on Jason Bourne shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I'm
getting.
talking about.
That's
I'm
what
talking about 12 too.
that's why I'm getting taken to court, because they know I killed them niggas. Like, yo, you can't just kill 12 niggas and just think that you just.
Nah. Oh, nigga, what happened? Are you still there?
Oh yeah, I'm still here.
I'm trying to go. I shouldn't say I'm trying to, but like, I mean, if I was going big, I'm just going to go on my Chris Dorner shit. Everybody's getting it. Y'all gonna have to track me to a fucking
Oh,
cabin in the woods.
you know, you can listen to the full audio manifesto of Chris Dorner on YouTube.
It's still on there. I bet.
Someone's reread it, but I mean, the thing is, I haven't gotten a
Who
chance to
read it?
finish.
Was it somebody famous?
No, it's just a YouTuber.
Oh, I was hoping it was like like Morgan Freeman or some shit like that.
My thing is, it really like it's crazy how it's come around to this, where it's a fraternity, it's a boys club. Like, one of the officers that I've known saying that like they do retaliation against officers, you
Mm,
know, and you know, just it's kind of one of those things where I don't want to go full into detail because I feel like I'll give it away, but it's
mm,
just kind of, they don't look after their own. If you have potential contamination, you don't, they're not allowing officers to use the 2 week of the what was it? I think the Corona Relief or the Family First Corona Response Act. Like, you have two
mm,
weeks of a paid sick time, you know.
mm,
So I guess police officers don't get that, and it's just kind of fucked up that, you know, these are the people that we're supposed to be, you know, looking on them to be first responders. And
mm.
again, I really like, don't think of me as like a cop sympathizer, but just
Yeah.
someone is like who understands what the role is. And I still have respect for what
Mm,
the position was for,
mm.
even though I know it can be abused. It's like
I
the samurai.
I know like they may not get that 2 weeks, but I know there's some departments their officers are able to take up to like 3 months off in a year. So I think that's good enough. You don't need an extra 2 weeks on top of that shit.
Yeah. It's
Like that's a like 3 months is a quarter of a year. Do you know how and that shit's paid too? Do you know how fucking bomb that shit is? You don't have to go to work for a quarter of a year.
yeah. I mean, that's
Of
always
course,
been,
not all departments are like that, but there are
yeah.
some like
It's crazy because like there's still like parts of me like that would always like still like would want to do law enforcement, but at the same time, like, being realistic is I know like that's just not the job for me.
Yeah,
It
I'm not
just
about that action, cuz.
yeah, it's like I would probably want to do if I did it. I would want to do something within like the tech side or something that's
Mhm.
like the only thing I wouldn't mind doing ever would be like parole, like trying to reach someone like, yo, you can't go back to fucking jail. All right. Be like, you a strong black man, or you a strong brown man, or you a strong white man. Carry that white flag, that flag just by yourself. Like,
Get that Confederate flag on up there, boy.
but you can't get
I
locked up and
believe in
fuck away our dollars, you know?
you. You
Motivate
pay these
niggas to get
private
out.
prisons too much. Don't be the reason why they get fat.
Bro, I
Eat
saw
them
the movie
rich.
A King of Staten Island the other day.
The fuck movie is that? Why does that sound familiar?
It's with Pete Davidson and Bill Burr.
Ah,
Yo,
I know
Bill
what you're talking
Burr is fucking dope as fuck in that movie. And I gotta give, major shout out and props to
about.
Bill Burr because that was great for him. But Pete Davidson,
Mhm.
if Pete Davidson, if this is based off of Pete Davidson's real life or something, minus the dad story, because I know his dad did die in 9/11. But if this is
Uh,
really based off of how Pete Davidson is as a person, I would have punched the shit out of this motherfucker in the face. Like
he
this
plays a good scumbag.
yeah, he's a piece of fucking shit, like a little bitch. Like the whole
Mm.
time in the movie, I'm just like, this guy's a little fucking bitch. Like his character in that movie is just a little fucking bitch, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, bro, it's like you're 25 and you're like bitching about her mom trying to get some dick and having some good time, and like, bro, your dad died when you were 7. Get the fuck over it. And
Hmm?
as
Yeah.
someone whose mom literally died around that same age, I can say that. Like, yo, get the
Yeah.
fuck over it, okay? Like, it
You've
is
had
what it
20
is.
years to heal.
Yeah, you've had mad time to heal. And if you're just gonna fucking live like that and try to shit on everyone else's life, like you're a piece of
Mm.
shit. Like, so
Yeah.
I just want to let people know that if you're gonna see the King of Staten Island, just know you're gonna be fucking angry, but you're gonna laugh every time Bill Burr is on scene. Bill Burr is probably the greatest character. Even the little montage at the end is dope, but just gonna make you think firefighters are awesome. Jump into burning buildings to save people, and mustaches are cool.
He plays a good angry father.
Oh yeah, F is for family is my shit.
Yeah. I feel like that's the role he was raised to be, was an angry father. I know, like when I listen to him talk, he seems pretty like introspective and it sounds like he's working on himself,
I know
which is a good thing, but like just naturally he's like a good angry role model.
it's crazy. It's like he would do good on King of the Hill, but also,
Oh,
and this might sound weird, but I mean, Bill Burr is one of those people where it's like if if I knew I was gonna meet him and I was gonna have to put him on the spot for something, I'm like, can you just yell at me? Like it's like
can you rant
yell at
rant
me
at
like
me?
I'm your fucked up son. I'll just yell out. I'll just list off some of my bad traits that I do, and like just like go off the top. Just yell at me. Yell at me. And
Just cut. Just if you ever see Bill
it's
Burr
like if I
while he's
start
driving,
crying,
just
go
cut him off.
harder. Like, no.
Just cut him off in traffic and roll your windows down and just wait for the show.
No, because I don't want him to hate me in real life. I just want him to be like, it's just like if for some reason, like if he ever came on our podcast or something, which I hope no one ever tell him that, or if I just happen to be somewhere and bump into him and then casual conversation and we just start to hit it off and it seems like, hey, I could be your friend and be like, before this gets weird, like, because I don't know if I'll ever see you again, man, but would it
Can
be
you
cool?
just
Can
rant?
you just like yell at me like a character, like from like F's for Family, like if I was like your fucked up son, and I'll just give you like some traits, like just I want to see you get into that mojo. It seems really cool that you can
Can
do
you
that on
pretend
command.
I broke the window to your 47 Chevy?
Yeah,
Just do that for me.
or just backed into a fucking pole. Like I feel like just like I honestly rest in peace to the goat Bernie Mac. I would have loved to have had
Mm,
Bernie Mac cuss me out.
I could agree with that.
See,
You
like
would learn some new cuss words out of that.
and I feel like when it comes to certain comedians, sorry, I was gonna say comedians, that's some weird shit, but like if some people
Commies?
that can do those types of rants, I would love for them to do that on me. Like when you get roasted in the front row, can you do that yet? Are you able to like roast the crowd?
I could. I don't like to though because like I don't know. I'm very non-confrontational. I'm starting to accept that about myself. I hate getting into conflict unless I'm drunk. When I'm drunk, then fuck it.
What's your crowd work
Everybody
like?
gets it. I let them tie their own noose. Usually, drunk people think that they're funny, and like you kind of let it go, and then like sometimes I do get angry. Like I remember there's one. I have that one joke about the gay people, and
Mm.
then I remember like somebody was like faggot, and then I was like, who the fuck said that? And then there's nothing, and then like I start going, and they started doing that again. And I was like, how big of a fucking pussy do you have to be to scream out from the darkness? And then when I look for you, you just fucking hide because you're a little coward. I bet your mother didn't fucking love you. And I said some shit like that. People kind of like was like, man, why are you going in on them?
Yeah, I feel like that's more like insulting, but I'm talking about like roast. Yeah, that I feel like that's a different type. Like if I would have heard that too, I might have laughed, but at the same time, I could understand if it was really just quiet.
Yeah. Yeah, people got quiet. They're just kind of, I think they were waiting for that guy to speak back up, but the guy never spoke back up.
Was it like a comedy club that kind of is like known for hecklers?
No, it was a restaurant show. Well, it's a restaurant slash club show.
Yeah, it's
It's
lame.
like a restaurant that like at night they turn to a club, but this night instead of using their stage for like the DJ, they had comics up there.
Hmm.
But yeah, I know it's like the further I get into this, the more angry I get at like I like hecklers. Like if you're a good heckler, fucking yo, I'll probably riff with that for a little bit. There's some people where it's kind of fun, but then there's other people where it's like, yo, you're a fucking pussy, and I swear to God, if I catch you, I want to beat your ass outside.
Hmm.
You know, that's how it gets when the liquor and cocaine hit the veins.
Oh, the only cocaine
Those are
I hit is the addiction of Jordans.
Jordan doesn't care about your black ass, just so you know.
Neither is cocaine.
The Bolivians love me.
Bolivians don't give a goddamn.
uh,
Oh shit.
Did you ever look into Mud flow? Yeah, mud flow.
We started. That was a topic from
Yeah.
way back when. That was probably
I
back in like the no, like the 50 episodes. Like,
anyway, I'm not sure if I talked about this, but you know, like buildings like Carnegie Hall, how they're really old. So supposedly those were there before we got this land got colonized by the Spanish and whatnot, right? And from the Indians, they say that giant white men, like heights of 8 to 12 feet, they were the ones that originally built shit like this, the Nephilim. And what's actually funny was I was speaking to somebody earlier today, and they're actually talking about he was telling me about the Saint Latter Day Saints because he's a Mormon, and he was telling me what they believe in, like how like basically um, Jesus or whatever. Pretty much there's like a big spiritual uprising over here on this land. And the things that he was talking, like, it actually coincides with what the Native Americans believe. And I just found that shit fucking fascinating. That's why I wanted you to play that Razcast song, Nature of the Threat.
ah,
I want to talk about this. But no, yeah, it's just a little something, a little tidbit, a little conspiracy, I guess you could call it. Because
hmm.
we are in some weird times where I think they found like another giant skull up in Utah not too long ago.
Wait, what?
They found a giant skull, or a giant sarcophagus and skull, probably about like 7 years ago. So it wasn't a while,
What?
but yeah, there's like starting to be a lot of evidence of giant bones, and they're just like apparently There's a few remains of giants that they found, and they ended up turning them into the Smithsonian. And then after they got turned into the Smithsonian, apparently somebody thought it was a good idea to destroy them. And then when they got destroyed, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're sorry. We thought this stuff was supposed to get destroyed." But I mean, everyone know. Well, if you know about it, it's one of those things where it's like it doesn't coincide with the the current theories of evolution, so they gotta get rid of it.
So it's kind of showing the proof that maybe that there's some alternative theories that might have some validity to it.
Yes, strange times we're in.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, also, if you ever get a chance, watch the documentary. Completely different subject, but watch the documentary on Hulu called "Hail Satan." That's an
Word?
interesting one. Yeah, it's kind of weird because I look. It gets into the law about the separation of church and state, and it kind of talks about it, and it's kind of weird because when you look at it, it almost, of course, it's a perversion of what I think the law is supposed to mean, but in a way, it's kind of like maybe we're being preened for this. America was like the chosen destination for, if you believe in like the end times, for the uh, Antichrist to like rise up from. It's actually really weird. But yeah,
Hmm.
completely different topic. Just some shit that I've been stumbling upon lately. Weird
That's a very
times, man.
interesting one. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's see. Yeah, that's honestly, I mean, the whole end times thing is kind of a give or take. Hey,
yeah.
my guess is as good as yours. But once they start talking that one world shit, that's when we know it's gonna be on a fucking wrap.
Yeah,
Yo,
China
so
recently.
did you see the video of the white woman that pulled that gun on that black couple?
Oh yeah, I saw that. And then she acts like she was scared for her life or some shit.
I will say
When did
this. I
white people become such big pussies?
who?
I said, when did white people become like such big pussies? It seems like lately, like they're just scared of everything,
I
and they're just
know.
trying to shoot people.
Like you ain't afraid of a good old fashioned passionate ass whooping. But also,
Yeah.
I feel like she's like escalated it, but then there's those people out there that like buy guns, and that's the first thing they want. They want a reason to pull it.
Yes.
But I will say this, which is better than that other couple that was caught on their fucking lawn with the
Oh my
AR-15. Like,
god.
at least she had her finger bladed on the fucking gun. It wasn't actually
Yes.
on the trigger. Like, she was at
Yes.
least like somewhat practicing safety. Like, yo, just like back up.
Yeah.
But
That
she got
other,
arrested.
that other. Yeah, she did. She did. That other couple though, the lady looked like she was high off of pills. She looked like she had a few antidepressants in her system and
Yeah,
maybe a cocktail or three.
they were
Of
probably
shit.
on some bullshit too.
Then
But
then the dude carrying the AR, like, what the fuck are you doing carrying your fucking rifle like that? Like,
now, honestly, they shouldn't have even come outside. They should have just stayed
mm,
inside. But they
yeah,
were on private property because I think they went to a gated community, so they technically didn't have the right to be there. But those people, you don't got to come outside and show your guns. Like that's the
yeah, I
thing. Like,
don't,
don't be stupid. If someone's trying to
yeah,
pound on your door, then that's when it's like, yo, if whoever comes in, this motherfucker's getting shot. You let them know, like, yo, we got
yeah.
guns in here. Pound on that door.
The castle
Not gonna like it.
doctrine doesn't extend to outside of your house. Just because you're in a gated community doesn't mean you're the protector of your gated community. You're still only the protector of your house, your property, because you don't own the
Yes,
gated community. That's
exactly.
what I think is ridiculous.
But again,
And
they
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 look
were they were
fucking crazy.
scared and they wanted to
Mm.
be kind of. I feel like some of these people want to make a scene. They know it now that they know that everyone that's being like recorded has a potential of going viral. I think a lot of them are scared, like because some of them don't even realize their own prejudices that they have within them, and then those
Mm.
prejudices create their racist mentality. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how I really think about it. I don't think that a lot of them
They're
are
projecting.
really, I would say, at their core racist. I think what it is they have a lot of prejudices and lack of experience, and
Mm-hmm.
then that manifests into a racist behavior or a racist
Mm-hmm.
outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how
They're
I kind of
ignorant.
see it. Yeah, they're really ignorant of some things, and it's kind of sad because it's like why are you so afraid? Why do you have so much hate? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and if
Mm-hmm.
you say you
Mm-hmm.
don't have hate, why are you acting so hysterical? Like,
Mm-hmm.
because if you just don't like the person, okay, like
Yeah.
you don't have to interact, just dip.
Like exactly, like whatever just happened to minding your own fucking business, just going the other fucking way. It's like they're trying to stand their ground, and like it's not looking good for them. Like
And
it's
it's
getting out of
fucked
hand.
up. And I think this is kind of what's driving the division within our country,
Mm-hmm.
which I think we shouldn't have. I think we should be like having more dialogues and discussions. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I really kind of want to figure out a way for us to try to get a good connection so we can start reaching out to our listeners and like let them come on for at least 30 minutes, have their own
Mm-hmm.
full episode. We want to just talk with like someone else that's on the show, like not necessarily a call in because I don't want it to be super random, but like, yo, we'll talk to them, see what's
Mm-hmm.
good, woo de woo, start with some people that we know, and then like really start bringing on the mobile guests so we can really have that everyman segment,
Mm-hmm.
like people that are just from around the country or people that have different walks of life, people that
We want to talk to you, Kentucky.
exactly, and people that don't agree with us too. Like if you don't agree with us, let's have a civil
If you don't
conversation.
agree with us,
And
you're
then
probably not listening.
no, some people actually do listen to us that like they don't necessarily agree with us, but they like to hear kind of our take on things, Like,
They're like Hondas over 240s, bitches.
ah, yeah, dick.
It's like, oh,
It's like
those are
it's like
fighting
I
words,
like Coyote
bitch.
engines, not an LS. Like, all right,
Ooh. We just call those people retarded.
yeah. Oh,
And I could say that because YouTube demonetized us anyway.
yeah. Honestly, yeah, we're demonetized to boot, so book it. We're good to go on that. Um,
Fag.
yeah, I guess we want to drop a hard F. I mean, now you're just,
A
I
hard
mean,
F. Is that a hard F?
yeah, that's the new hard F because like I feel like
It's,
what's fucked up, and I'm just gonna drop it as is. Now that the homosexual crowd is, and I'm saying that being, of course, polite in every
now
earnest
that
way.
gays are cool.
Yeah, now that it's just like mainstream, I feel like
Uh,
it's fucked up that that term faggot, which we know
uh,
is a bundle of firewood. We know the origin of it,
uh,
flaming faggot, whatever. It is a word that was before something.
mm-hmm,
It's not like nigger. Nigger was made for us
mm-hmm,
and only to hurt us. But
mm-hmm.
faggot, that is a word that is
Bundle of sticks.
it just I'm just saying, man. It's one of those words like cunt or
Oh, I
crack
love cunt.
or just like
Crack?
oh yeah,
Oh,
I love saying the
that's
word
the rough
crack.
word. Crack.
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 Or just like it's one of those swear words that I feel like could but I feel like we have to change the negative meaning.
Mm-hmm. I actually recently saw this
Like,
thing
what if
on
we changed it
Instagram.
from the term faggot from someone that is gay to someone
Mm.
that is a snitch?
Well, I mean, that person's still gay. Oh, hey, oh.
Nah, because gay should
Nah.
have some respect put on it.
Mm.
Like if you're
No, yeah,
gay,
gay is. I feel like
that's
gay is the proper term, though.
yeah. We
Besides homosexual,
shouldn't use the term gay. And
like what? Like saying like, oh, that's gay.
exactly. But
I
if
feel it.
but if the term faggot, which we know means a bundle of sticks, if we reclaimed it for people that are snitches, and snitches are not cool,
I feel where you're going with that.
we've now
Um,
made that term to mean uncool.
so Takashi 6ix9ine is
Is a
still a
faggot.
fag. Yeah,
Yes.
he's still. Yeah,
And he's uncool.
Yeah,
See? I think within
yeah.
just a few
It's
minutes,
it's an
I've
easy
reclaimed the
transition.
word faggot.
I think that's an easy transition. I think we could do that. I'm running with it. because I
Yeah.
really enjoy saying that word. It's a fun word to use, but
Again,
I don't use it for gay people.
same
I
thing with
never
nigger.
use it. I love nigger too. Like that's
I
a fun
know.
one.
I feel bad
I
for
like
those white
call.
people out there. You can't say
I love
nigger.
calling my white friends nigger because like I can see in their face they're just like, ooh.
It's like, say
I'm not
something.
going. Don't you say it? Don't you fucking say it? I will kick you in your mouth,
It's like, this is what you get.
nigger. This is what you get for giving up such a cool word.
Oh man, that
Oh,
is
but
such a someone's gonna,
I saw
someone
this.
in the black community is gonna hate us for this.
Oh yeah, somebody's angry at us for this. But I saw this thing on Instagram the other day where this chick she didn't actually show it, but I'm just kind of taking this at a base level. She had a 1937 Bible, and in it she was saying that the word homosexual isn't in there, but what word is in there is another word that translates, I shouldn't say roughly, it translates to pedophile. And it's not so much that God hates homosexuals. Who the fuck knows? It was
Yeah,
more of they're saying it was a term to demean, or it was more of aimed at pedophiles, not homosexuals. If it's true or not, I don't know. I don't have a 1937 Bible, so I can't check it.
yeah. I don't have a 1937 Bible to compare it to either, but damn,
Yeah, I would
that
hope that
is.
it's true because I like gay people. They're pretty cool sometimes.
I just don't leave it up to me. Like, basically, it says in the Bible,
Mm,
don't judge lest ye be judged. So it's like,
mm.
you don't judge people because the same judgment that you put upon those people, God's going to place upon you. So if
Yeah,
you're
it's
not,
not your child.
so that's why it's that, and that's why I'm saying it's like, why am I judging their sin to be worth more than my sin? When all
Mhm.
sin is supposedly, it's all the same. It's all sin. So we're all good. Hey, when we all die and we're all in line waiting to get judged, walking up
Mhm.
like it is what it is. You may have took 27 dicks in the ass. I may have smacked. I said you may have took 27 dicks in the ass.
Oh no, that's disturbing. But I heard something from outside. I was like,
Okay,
what
yeah,
the?
but the way you said that, I was like, don't think that I said that I did. I'm just saying, it's like you may have took 27 dicks in the ass. It's like I may have smashed 27 vaginas. Like when we go up there, like he's looking at like, yo, all y'all were fucking before marriage. So like, it's just like you have to kind of like. That's why I feel like it's so ignorant to carry that type of hate in your heart. Like you may not agree with it. Like, hey, I don't agree with stealing. Some people think that, hey, it's better that you're stealing than selling drugs. And it's like, I don't agree with both. Well, fuck. You gotta get yours. Get a
I
job,
agree with
nigga.
selling drugs because somebody has to give me my blow.
I'm not really opposed to selling drugs, but I feel like if anything, we
Hey,
need to.
stealing's fine also, especially if like you need. I don't think stealing for
Hey,
greed is
hey,
bad, but stealing for survival,
I'm looking at the camera. If you steal
I
from
can't.
me, I'm whooping
Oh,
your
we go.
motherfucking ass.
Oh, if you steal from me and I have my gun on me, I am for sure going to try to shoot you.
That's exactly what I'm
Might accident,
saying.
might accidentally shoot you in the back.
Now,
I might be so salty that I shoot you in the back
Now I'm
and
not
I'll flip
now
you
it's
over.
the least of crimes. Like now, should you murder someone over stealing? Like probably not. Like yo, if you get caught killing someone because they stole from you, I'm not gonna feel bad if you're doing time. But like if they beat the shit out of you and stole from you and then you shot them like or something, all right, then I might like okay.
If I catch you in my house, I'm shooting your ass. That's where I stand on that. If we're outside and you steal from me and I'm just gonna try to beat your ass, so like I'm gonna attempt to take my shit back.
Oh, I thought about it right now. I just had an epiphany because I was gonna ask you this
Mm,
question. Like, well, what if someone beat your ass and stole your shit? Because
mm.
what about this? Like we both agree that snitching ain't cool. So if someone beat your ass and stole your shit, you can't go and snitch. But if you go and kill them, you can get charged with murder. But I was gonna say, like, what if you could prove that since he beat your ass and he stole your shit, and you went back and got your shit back and killed him in the act of retrieval, that murder is then justified if you can prove that with like body cam footage, like kicking in his door is like, nigga, you what? You want your chain back or something? It's like, yeah, nigga, I do want my chain back. And it's like, pop, 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 pop. And then you go and take your chain back, and then you go to the police station. It's like, this nigga beat my ass a few weeks ago. I got it on tape. Like,
They go like, nigga, why don't you just buy a new chain with your petty ass?
my grandmama gave me this chain.
I'm trying to think, like, what would it be like? Okay, so they steal it from you, so then you run up on them and you steal it back from them. So while you're stealing it back from them, they have to assault you. Once they assault you, then you could say,
No.
I'm scared for my life, and then you kill them.
No. It's like, it's kind of like in a video game. Once the action's been initiated, it only ends when someone's either dead or in jail. It's like a wanted thing, you know. It's like the new Grand Theft Auto. There's no getting arrested anymore, getting busted. It's either getting wasted or wasted. So think about it. It's like, okay, Tim, I go up and I rob you for your shit. The mission started now. Like, I'm in the act of robbery. Now you can either take that L and you keep your chain being gone. You know, we'll give it a time limit of 48 hours, just like a murder.
That's all I need.
But if you don't get your chain back in 48 hours with proof, because remember, you ain't gonna call the cops and snitch on me that I robbed your chain. You ain't a bitch, but you got 48 hours to come get it back. So if you can't find me in 48 hours, you don't get your chain back.
This is the most fucked up game of hide and seek I've ever heard.
No, this is going to be called the new way of life. But check this. If you find me, because you got a GoPro or a body camera or whatever, you can run up on me and be like, yo, give my shit back. And I'll be like, nah, nigga, you getting your shit back, bitch. That's me admitting that I took your shit. And then if it's like that. And then it's just like, so you mean you took my shit the other day? Yeah, I took your shit the other day.
See, I have.
All right, that's a little bit more.
In my head,
that's detailed.
In my head, my GoPro is like stuck to my gun. So like, I'm like, I'm pointing it at you like, well, you're the motherfucker that took my chain, and then he's like, yeah, I'm the motherfucker that took it.
Put it on your forehead.
Gun at myself, like, hey, that's him admitting that he took my chain.
Why do you gotta put the gun on your? Why you gotta put the GoPro on your gun? Just put it on your forehead. Just be like,
no, I want it on my gun. I want it on my gun. I want that view.
Whatever.
Gun view.
And then if the shootout ensues, and let's just say this, you kill me for sure. You get your chain back. You go to court. Look, obviously I did this because you stole my chain. We have footage. So, all right, for sure. You're justified in your homicide because fuck thieves. But if I pop your ass and then I can just be like, yo, this nigga tripping. He just saw my chain, try to rob my ass, and then I popped him a few times, and now he dead. Because you know what I'm gonna do? Destroy the footage. And then now I just said it. It ends with someone getting busted or someone going to the fucking ground. Someone dying.
Death is the only solution.
So no, because imagine if you would have like shot me, but you didn't kill me, but I gave up, and I was like, no, take me to jail.
Nah, homeboy, I'm killing you. I'm gonna just edit that out my GoPro footage.
Oh, now you're just a murderer. you ain't even killing in the name of your own shit. You just fucking
giving up in the middle of a gunfight.
Popping niggas now.
Nah, there's no giving up in the middle of a gun. You go like, oh, I'm scared. I don't want to get shot no more. Like, nah, motherfucker, you trying to stole my chain.
You know, in fucking Washington,
around this bitch.
You know, in Washington, they have that whole fight law I've been talking about, where you can get in a fight in public, and the cops will basically be a referee.
There's a video I gotta send you. It's a yoked cop, and like he goes on going like, "Oh y'all motherfuckers want to say that y'all fight who so and so. How about y'all fight me? Y'all don't want to fight me. If you got beef with me, let's fight." So then he puts that out, and it goes viral. And basically, this guy ends up getting hit up by like professional heavyweight fighters, going like, "Hey, homeboy, how about you fight me in the ring?" And then like he makes another video, and then he's like, I don't even know why y'all motherfuckers messaging me, getting in my DM saying that you'll fight me. Most of y'all motherfuckers been fighting for 20 years straight, and y'all weigh like 400 pounds. I don't have no beef with you. So basically, he just went and switched up his shit real fast after he started getting threats from like professional fighters.
Hell yeah. But the thing is, all right, I'm not saying I fuck with the cop, but I understand where the cop's coming from, because he's like, yo, I'm talking to the criminals. They're talking like they gangsters. Like, y'all are professional fighters. Like, what are you talking about? Like, y'all have careers. Like, y'all ain't in the streets. Like, get the fuck out of here. Get out of my DMs. Like, I'm trying to talk to people that are like beating their wives and shit and don't pay child support. Like, I'm fucking with deadbeat niggas. I ain't trying to fuck with y'all niggas.
No, yeah, it was just funny because like he doubled back real quick. Like it's like he's still in the same clothes as he was as the
So he got the
previous
same
dude.
day. He's like, the smoke was too much. Like, his
Oh yeah,
phone was getting hot.
the smoke was way too much. He didn't want none of that.
Oh fuck.
Getting hit up by people that are like twice Kimbo Slice's size and whatnot. More fighting experience. Yeah, fuck that. Not trying to get my ass beat.
I'm never trying to go down like that. Never. At least I'm not trying to go out like that.
Yeah. I don't need no concussions. I've had enough as a child.
Mm-hmm.
Word. Well, this is it's getting kind of late here.
Yeah, man. It's like we're almost 2 hours in. So I mean, I'm down
Really?
to go ahead and cut it short. This is more of a fun episode.
Is that cutting it short?
Yeah,
2 hours?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part,
We've
we're
been doing
about
like an hour 15 lately.
no, we've been doing like a nice hour 30. That's not too bad. But I mean, I feel like we cut it short as far as we didn't get into all the topics or stuff more.
There's more topics? 7 more.
Oh, I had more topics, but at the same time, like, we can save this for another episode.
Yeah,
because I mean,
we saved those.
I'm done trying to keep up with the Joneses and cover every topic as soon as it drops.
Yeah, we're not
Like,
Joe Rogan. We don't need 3-hour podcasts.
Exactly. And I wanted to talk about the Chris D'Elia thing because I kind of feel like, also to tie that up, there needs to be a way to prosecute people for falsely accusing males. Like, I understand you want to believe the victim, but once they come out that, yo, you were fucking lying, there needs to be a way to publicly oust you.
Yeah.
Just as the same way as you try to oust this man.
His career is potentially
No, it's fucked up. Like, he's losing people. I feel like that's very fucked up.
He could never get that back. And it's not, and the allegations aren't I'm not going to say they're not true because he was doing it, but it's not like he was hooking up with underage girls.
Exactly.
But these girls, they don't have a career like that where their name could never rise up again. They're fucking working at fucking Walmarts and shit, where nobody's ever going to know it was them. But this man's career, who has this public image, that shit's tarnished now, and that shit sucks.
Yeah, but hey, all I'm saying is that, give the guy a chance, let him get his day in court. If he turns out to be a piece of shit, let him be a piece of shit. Until then, I've seen nothing illegal, just something that, to me is still creepy.
Yes, definitely. I agree with that.
What was the name of that old song?
Nature of the Threat?
We'll just save that for next time.
Yeah, we'll save that for next time. And we could dive into that story and more information about mud flow, Nephilim, and all that shit next time. Because I actually do have some research notes that I like to bring up about it. Interesting shit. Very interesting shit. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap. Wrap it up. Do you have that song? Do you have the Wrap It Up song?
No, I don't. But that's something I'm down to get. I'm down.
Yeah, we can use that for the future.
All right, I'm gonna go with that. Alfredo, something to rap about, featuring Tyler, the Creator. See you guys next time. Peace.
Peace. Nigga, bitch.
fuck nigga. Hey yo, scamming niggas maxing out, ratchet bitches acting out. God made me sell crack, so I had something to rap about. Lobster lollipops and crustaceans, so what you mad about? I fucked twice in Vegas, that pussy one shit to brag about. And I can't draw for shit, but I knocked the bitch at a pain and sip. Magnums and some sweet aromatics, yeah bitch I came close. You sucker shit with no whole mistletoe and Christmas exchanging gifts. She don't like it, bitch to punch out, niggas get changing ships. Yeah. These niggas bringing out the old me. I'm trying to live the 93 and see the old me. When I touch that crack, I let them crackers take control of me. Serve the peace, Caprice ain't got no heat, man, it was cold, G. Record labels down me 40,000 on my first advance. Fucked up on my taxes, IRS got me your payment plans. Crime fucking pays, but once you paid, you gotta pay the man. Straight survival, right hand on the Bible, I won't take the stand. Yeah. VL niggas trap it out. Lord, let me hit this hoe, so I have something to rap about. Been through shit with hoes that I look back and I can laugh about. This shit wasn't no joke, sitting in that cage, this shit was dragging out. Diego tripping cause I'm sitting, ain't no package out. He robbed the plug, kicked in the door and cleaned the mattress out. Right back in the trap, these niggas bringing out the old me. I'm trying to live the 93 to see the old me.
Nell is in the coffin. Freddie sent me this shit. This sound like the boat I haven't bought yet. This sound like the moment I jump off it. Sun shining, cold water filling in my pockets. This lake water better than the faucet I grew up with. We hold our breath like grudges till we nauseous. We hop out, let the sun dry us like raisins. We get dressed in some Gucci or Lacoste shit, it's amazing. We look like Polo ads, but skin is darkened. I gotta move cautious cause niggas malicious. They come from the trenches. I used to be a goblin under them bridges, now I'm a businessman. I started getting moolah as young and now I got bigger hands. I hold them if I got too much on me, I know my niggas can. I keep my circle tight like tops. Nothing corn, no crops. You messy and get cleaned up with the mop. I went to school and I ain't miss it a lot. So I could be around niggas like you and learn how to keep my distance. I cut some niggas off some hater shit niggas said to me. RIPTs cause these motherfuckers is dead to me. Nell is in a coffin. Murder, murder, I'm sick of y'all niggas and I ain't coughing. I know me, y'all often anxious, lost in y'all thoughts and I don't relate. So keep that energy away from me. Don't blame me cause you ain't got it figured out. You ain't got the bigger house, the jig is up. You jealous dog, my afro long, I pick it out like cotton on some basics. Shit is off, we ain't adjacent. I'm grounded like the pavement, we ain't linking like the bracelet, bro. Better get your wrist and hold on the thought you get and go the fuck away cause niggas get they faces broke. I just got a thumbs up and niggas go like good job. You better find a shoe store and get your soul. Get it quick, slip it on, and I'll be a Mykonos. Lemonade sipping slow, jumping in the water off that boat I haven't bought yet. One take, one take, one take. Let me hear that. I meant to say Mykonos.
The thing that he died from alcohol, you're not afraid.
But if you write dull shit, it doesn't do any good what you die.
All right, check it out.
What the rabbit is saying? Big Fib up, yeah.